Alright, this was my attempt at making Korean spicy pork and vegetables with rice. I got this recipe from online, Mangchi, her website and her YouTube video. I started off with a sauce, simple sauce here, starting off with a soy sauce. I made the sauce first because I'm not a very fast cook and I didn't trust myself to get it done while other things were happening, so I decided I'll take my time doing the beginning. Half a cup of water. Yeah, and then if you have some gochugaru, add a teaspoon of it, I guess. If you don't have it, then go get some. It's useful to have. For some reason, it was really hard for me to get it into my spoon here. Alright, quarter cup gochujang. It might seem like a lot, but I don't know, it turned out okay. I kind of just eyeballed it here. I had to ask Alexa how many tablespoons were in a quarter cup, because I wasn't going to put a quarter cup measuring thing in there, so yeah, and then I just threw some finger gochujang in there. Now for the potato starch, it's going to help make the sauce a bit stickier, a bit more viscous. Yeah, and it's a product placement as well. Alright, tablespoon of sugar. It's going to sweeten up the sauce a little bit so it's not just spicy and salty. And mix it up. And set aside for when you use it later. Yeah, mix it up real good and then show it to the camera, of course. Alright, what's next? The vegetables, I think. So, kind of prepare them all on this plate. You'll see I actually already cut up some green onions. 6 green onions. I think I used 7 just because I had 7. Into segments. And this onion, just slice it up. Yes, you can. I'm not a very good slicer of onions, but thin slices. Yeah, let's get this thing moving along. We don't need to watch the whole thing. Add it to that plate. Slice it up. Yeah, take a good look. Make sure it's actually an onion. This last little piece, I failed. It humiliated me, so I just gave up on it. Because you know what? It's not worth fighting an onion. Just let it win. If it fights back, no, let it have it. I didn't know how much 4 ounces of cabbage was, so I kind of just eyeballed it here. Went through 5 of those leaves on there. Cut it up into kind of square looking things. Gotta get rid of this piece of the onion that made fun of me. Throw that away. Yeah, okay, now we got the chili and the ginger. Yeah, make sure to really struggle to take it out of the bag. Don't reach your hand in there and grab it out. That makes too much sense. Just, you gotta shake it out. The recipe called for 1 green chili pepper. I didn't really know what that meant, so I just got 2 serranos about the same size as the one I saw in the recipe. You're going to want to start off cutting off those little stems. I think I was sniffing it here to see if it was actually spicy. I guess I passed the test. And then at this point I had a moment of doubt. I forgot how I was supposed to slice it up. If it's supposed to be like circles or diagonal. Turns out it's diagonal, so here we go. It probably doesn't matter, but for some reason I needed it to be just like the recipe. And make sure to segregate that little guy in the end. I don't know why I did that. It didn't have the same shape as the others, so I separated it. But now that I say it out loud, that seems unfair. I ended up reincorporating him and his brother here. Yeah, see? I mean, it's still apart, but they get to play together in a second here. Here I was looking for a sample to see to see if it was actually spicy. I picked one that had a little bit of seeds in there. So it had a little bit of heat, but not too bad. Definitely doable. I'm not a huge spice handler, so that worked for me. Alright, I said mince a teaspoon of peeled ginger. So my ginger didn't come peeled. I had to do it myself. And then I had to mince it myself as well. I don't know how much a teaspoon of ginger looks like, so I kind of just cut off a piece. But I think it'll be okay. Yeah, as many garlic cloves as you want, really. It said 4 in the recipe, but I think I ended up putting like 7. But who cares? Go ahead and mince them all up together. They're going to go in at the same time anyway, so you can go ahead and just have them get used to each other now, I guess. See, I ended up putting more. The ratio of ginger to garlic just, I don't know, didn't seem right, so I audibled 2 extra cloves. Alright, now for the meat. This was like 4 pounds of pork shoulder. I think you could also use pork tenderloin. But yeah, you have to really eyeball it, make sure it's exactly 1/4, or else it's not going to work. So I used my fingers there to visualize, and then I manifested it. I figured that was about 1 pound. I ended up second guessing myself later and slicing up a little bit more, but you're not going to see that. That was behind the scenes action. It really helps to freeze the pork a little bit before, because then it helps to slice it. I didn't freeze it for 2 hours like Mangchi recommended, but I did it for maybe 45 minutes. It helped a little bit, but I still struggled to get those thin slices. So I'm speeding it up here so you don't see my struggle. Alright, now we're getting to actually cook it. So heat up 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, throw in your garlic and ginger. This is going to be on medium-high heat. Yeah, stir it up a little bit. Get the aromatics going. Don't cook it too long, obviously, or else you'll burn it. And then throw in your pork. And you're going to cook it like this for 3 minutes until it's no longer pink. Yeah, so you got to get that lid ready. It's coming. This little piece of fat here in the middle, I don't know, originally I kind of wanted to oil up the bottom of the pan with it, but then I realized it wasn't worth it, so I ended up just giving it to the dog. I happen to be colorblind, so I kind of just had to trust the 3 minutes here. Hopefully I didn't overdo it, but I don't think I did, because my slices weren't super thin, so I figured it would take the full 3 minutes, maybe more. Alright, now just go ahead and throw that plate of veggies on there. I forgot to mention that the original recipe had carrot in here as well, but I didn't have one, so I just said screw it. Now reduce the heat to medium. I think you just lay them here on top. That's what I did anyway. And then you're going to cover it up. And then, yeah, on medium heat, 3 minutes. Just let it sit there. Let those veggies sweat. Yeah. I don't know what I was doing here. I think I was just goofing off. And then 3 minutes later I came back. You take off the cover. And now we're going to add that sauce. Eventually, anyway. Yeah, here we go. And now it's actually starting to look like a proper dish. So that's exciting. Yeah, heat back to medium-high. 3 more minutes. Just keep stirring it up. It should start to look good now. You're going to want to keep that wooden spoon in there because it's going to give it an earthy flavor. Little pro tip there. Alright, add 2 teaspoons of sesame oil, or just eyeball it. Take it off the heat. Yeah, and it should look something like this. At least that's what mine did. The sauce maybe could have been a little thicker, but I think it turned out okay. Now for plating. Obviously you have your rice. I made a little over easy egg, threw it on top of there. Spoon out as much pork and vegetables as you very well please. Whatever you want. There's supposed to be 3 to 4 servings in this thing. But it could be more or less depending on your appetite, I suppose. Sprinkle on those sesame seeds for a little aesthetic touch. Alright, and that's pretty much it. I think it turned out pretty well, tasted good. If I can do it, anyone can. So give it a shot. Thanks for watching.